Hello friends, it's time for Science Lab, and our science experiment today is called Color Chemistry 101, and you'll need your page right here with your science experiment on it. This is just to follow along. You'll also need a blank piece of paper. Now, you can use the back of this page to draw your experiment, or you can use, it looks like maybe the back of your Bible check might work too. Yeah, that's fine. You can use the back of your Bible check to do that. Either one would be okay. Starting next week, we'll have papers that Austin's mom made for us that'll have our science experiment layout on them. But for today, we're kind of winging it. All right, so every time we start a science experiment, we want to go ahead and read through what we're doing today. So I hope you've read through and you know what we're going to work on today. So I'm going to just kind of start down myself because I don't want to give away the surprise at the end, the things that we actually get with the experiment, get from the experiment. I'm going to start up here. It says, use the 3 color solutions that you made in your last experiment to make a rainbow of different colors. Now, I know you've probably seen a rainbow in the sky, and you know it has many beautiful colors. But how did all those colors get there? What are all the colors in the rainbow? Some of you may know, some of you may not know. Do you know what primary colors and secondary colors are? We're going to talk a little about those today. Primary colors are the 3 colors I actually have here. The red, yellow, and blue. Those are the primary colors. You may remember those from the last experiments that we've done. Those are the colors that we mixed with the color tablets inside the test tubes. And we'll use those today to make secondary colors. From the kit, these are the materials that we need. We need the red, yellow, and blue color solutions in the test tubes that you made in previous experiments. Or make more. Well, there they are again. There's yellow and blue and red. And I made some more just for the fun of it. I made some new solutions for it this time. And then it says white plastic mixing tray. This is also in our kit, and it looks like this. Holds some, it looks like it could hold candy. It looks like it could hold candy or eggs or little things in that we're going to use that to mix our paints today or mix our colors. And a pipette. Pipette. What's a pipette? Well, you might know it by its other name. We call it an eyedropper when we give babies medicine. But this is a pipette. It's got a bulb on one end, and it's got a long tube down the middle, and it's used to draw up water and release water or whatever liquid you're working with. So let me show you how this works. I have a glass of water right here, and you can see if I put my pipette in, and then I squeeze, make some bubbles because it puts air in the water, and then I let go, it draws up water. And if you can see how it's drawn up some water in there. And then when I squeeze the bulb again, you see how it lets that out in drops. Okay, that's called a pipette, and that's what it does. It measures out an amount of liquid. Okay, and test tube rack. Well, there it is. This is the rack that's holding my test tubes today. This red plastic wrap right here. Okay. And it says, you get it. Safe place to experiment. Check. We're going to use this right here. Notebook. We're going to use the papers, the back of the papers that I showed you, maybe the back of the Bible check, or color wheel. And we're not going to use a color wheel today. We're going to do it ourselves on this, and a cup of water. And I showed you that already. There's my cup of water, and there goes my pipette. Okay. Before you begin, once again, since this experiment involves water as well as color, it is important to find a safe place to do the experiment where it's okay to make a mess. You may want to wear a lab coat or an apron, just like a real scientist does. You can buy science kits as toys. Actually, the science kits that we have are the same thing that you would buy in the store, and maybe do some science experiments on your own. In that case, it might be fun to dress like a real scientist when you do those. So now it says try it. Set up your color laboratory. Check, we've got that. Set your test tube rack on a stable, safe surface. Got it. It's right here on my table. Carefully unscrew the lids from the test tubes containing your color solutions and place the test tubes in the rack. So let's do that. We're going to take the lid off the red, set it here behind it, put the red back in, take the lid off the blue, put it right here behind, back, and take the red off the lid off the yellow and put it behind. Okay, there we go. And maybe I'll tip this down a little bit. Can you see him sitting there? See the test tube sitting there? A little bit of a view. Now it says, put the color mixing tray on a table. There it is, right here. Put it on the table. The color mixing tray is made of plastic and has 9 little indentions called wells for you to experiment with while mixing colored liquids. Fill a cup with water and set it on the labeled lab bench. You've got it. Set a pipette next to the cup of water. Now you are ready to begin. Got it. It is time to practice using the pipette. Scientists use pipettes all the time to carefully measure different liquids during their experiments. Your adult assistant can help you if you have trouble. Pipettes are very useful, but sometimes it takes a little practice to figure out how to use them. You will first learn how to use it with a cup of water. Here is how. Pinch the bulb of the pipette with your thumb and forefingers and keep squeezing. This pushes the air out. Okay, we did this already. Let me show you again. There's already air in it, although you can't see it. Can't see the air in it, can you? But watch the water when I put it down in the water and then push. See the bubbles come up? Those are bubbles of air. Okay? And next it says, while you are pinching the bulb, carefully lower the tip of the pipette into the water. Okay, we already did that part. So while I'm pinching the bulb, carefully lower it into the water. With the tip of the pipette underwater, slowly release your squeeze. What happens? Water is sucked up into the pipette. See it? There's the water right in there. Then it says slowly pull the pipette out of the water. The liquid stays inside, right? It doesn't go anywhere. It's held in there. Slowly, to remove the liquid from the pipette, squeeze the bulb once more, and the water will squirt out and go back into the cup. Very good. Feel comfortable with the pipette? I think we're ready. Okay. Next, it's practice using the pipette until you feel comfortable. Now you are ready to start your chemistry experiment. Carefully use your pipette to drop some liquid from the test tube with the blue colored water. Squirt it into one of the wells in your color mixing tray. Okay, let's do that first. So we're going to take the blue, get some of it in there. Can you see it in the pipette? And then we're going to put it into one of our tray pieces here. Now, it might be hard to see that. Let me try to go down a little bit. You see it in there? There you go. Can you see it? It's a little bit difficult trying to do these sideways like this, but we'll give it a go. And then what does it say next? Rinse your pipette with a cup of water. Okay? There we go. We're going to rinse that out a little bit. Now use your pipette to drop some liquid from the test tube containing yellow colored water. Okay. Oop. Squirted my computer. Not what they had in mind, I'm sure. And then squeeze it into the blue. What happens? We've made a new color. We've made a new color. Anybody want to guess what color we have? Let me try. I brought some of these to try to show you. I'm going to take some of this liquid here and put a drop right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that either. Kind of hard. No, kind of hard. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But let me, oh, I know what I can do. Draw it back up in my pipette. Go, look. Can you see that color in there? What color is that? If I mix blue and yellow, what color do I get? Green. That's right. I get green. That's what we got. Okay? Let me rinse that out again. Add a few more drops of blue or yellow liquid to the well. What happens? Okay, so now we've got some blue in there and we've got some yellow in there. Let's put some more blue in there and see if it changes the color. Quite a bit more blue. What have you noticed? I still see green, but it looks a little more teal colored or a little darker green, maybe a more bluish green than before. There. Rinse that out. Okay. Let's try this one. Let's try doing this with red. Pull some red up and put it in the next cup. And rinse. Pull some yellow up. There's my yellow. Put it in with the red. Rinse. And let's see what color we get now. What color is that? I see orange. Do you see orange? That's what happens when we mix red and yellow. We get orange. Awesome. All right, let's try another one. Let's do blue. We did blue. Let's try blue. And red. Blue and red and see what we get. Right, give this a rinse. Ah, that's pretty. Look at that. It's a lovely purple. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Lovely color purple in there. Very good. So we've learned that we can make blue and purple. And how do you suppose we'd make a darker purple? What would we want if we wanted a shade that's even darker? Would we add more red or would we add more blue to this to make it a darker shade of purple? Let's see what happens if we add more blue. Oh. a little darker, doesn't it? Sure, I get a darker shade of purple in there. Yeah. We did red and yellow. We did blue and yellow. And we did red and blue. Now, there are names for these colors, and I'll write them up here for you. I'm going to move this down here. I'm going to move this down for just a minute so I can write this up here. We learned, it's almost like science math. We learned that red plus blue equals what color? What color was that? Do you remember? That was the purple. And we learned that red plus yellow equals what color? I'll show you again. This color. Orange. Red plus yellow equals orange. Oh. And we learned that, oh, it's hard to see that, isn't it? Put your computer that way. There you go. And we learned that blue plus yellow make, you remember what color? Right, green. Green. Okay. Red, yellow, and blue are called primary colors. Primary colors. And the colors that you make by mixing those three colors, purple, orange, and green, are secondary colors. And I'm going to run out of room. Let me try that again. Secondary colors. Secondary colors. Purple, orange, and green. But just like when we tried to, remember when we tried to hold all three test tubes together? What happens, what do you think would happen if we mixed purple and orange and green? What color do you think we would get if we did that? Let's try it. I got my purple, and I'm going to put some in my orange. Clean that out. And I'm going to take some of my green and put it in there. Let's see what color we get. Just a really dark kind of purplish color, do you think? Do you suppose that's how they make a big dark color like brown by mixing them all together? So the more you add of one color, the more it influences the next color. If you have orange in here and you add more red, you're going to get a little more pink. Whereas if you add more yellow, it's going to be a lighter color orange or maybe even a peach. So when you take your primary colors, of which there are only three, and you mix them, then you get your secondary colors. Okay, let's look at the end of our experiment and see where we're at. Be sure to record your discoveries in your notebook. That's what the paper's for. I'm going to let you write this down on your paper. And it says, when you are finished, don't dump the colors down the drain. Be sure to read Activity 5 to learn how to turn your colored water into solid jelly crystals. Ooh, That's exciting. We'll have to do that. We'll hold on to our test tubes because next week we'll make some jelly crystals. Let's put the lids on these. Good experiment. Good job. Now let's talk about why it works, what it does, how it works. And I'll just read this to you. It says, red, yellow, and blue are called the primary colors. By mixing them, you can make all kinds of different colors. Did you discover which two colors combine to make purple? We did. Red and blue. Look at your color wheel that is included in your kit. Here's a hint. Which two colors does purple lie between? Oh, I didn't even see the color wheel in my kit. Let's see if I can find it. Let me go get my kit. I don't see a color wheel. See all sorts of cool things. I see a wheel, but I don't see a color wheel. Papers and powders. Nope, no color wheel. Oh well, that's okay. What else does it say? Which two colors does purple lie between? Well, we already know that. Lies between red and blue. Use your color wheel to set up other experiments or to explain color chemistry to your adult assistant. For example, you could point to orange and explain that orange can be made by mixing the two colors, red and yellow. Very good. So go ahead and explain this to mom or dad or your stuffed animal or your cat. Teach them what you have learned because when you teach, you learn more. I always learn so much when I teach. You did a great job today on this experiment. I'm proud of you. You're doing great with Science Friday. I love it, love it. Even though it's not Friday, I have a special surprise for you when we do our Bible check tomorrow, but I'll show you tomorrow. It'll be my show and tell. You might, if you listen carefully, you can hear my show and tell for tomorrow. But that'll be a surprise for tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a great day. Mwah! See you later. Bye-bye.